How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I wasn't going to film today. This is the first day I'm out in BC. I was just going to take it to sort of orient myself, and that is still the plan. But I woke up and it was raining, and I know Lucky's got a leak somewhere in the rear section of the roof. So I wanted to at least get the tiny home on wheels into the garage so I don't have to deal with another annoying problem. I will have to pull her out eventually before I start doing any sort of painting because she's yucky AF. But anyways, that's Lucky's new home for a while. All right, we will see you guys tomorrow. You're in. Okay. Plants. Water all once per week. 1. Christmas cactus. Water once per week. On top shelf. Corner unit. Dining room. Boom. You want some over there? You're a cactus. You don't need much, right? Christmas, desert, or otherwise. That was simple enough. Number 2, tropical with red flower. Okay, water once per week. Didn't we say this at the top? Take over to sink and lift plant out of red paper cover. Okay, water with watering can until soil is wet. Let drain into sink about ½ hour before putting back on stand. Also spray leaves with plant spray bottle under the sink. All right. Ooh, tropical plant, red flowers. Take you out of this thing? How do you come out? Oh, just the paper. Don't pull them out of the pot. It's a bad day for everybody. Plant and gardener sprayer. Yeah, all right. Done. And draining. Hey Siri, start a timer for ½ an hour. Number 3. Orchid. Take to sink, remove paper note. There's a second page. And water from tap for about 15 seconds, and then tip and drain excess water out of container. Also spray with plant bottle water. Let dry in sink ½ hour before returning to the stand. Ooh. Paper note and a little sombrero guy. Paper note out. One 1,000, two 1,000. Number 4, poinsettia. Also on plant stand. Take the sink, take it out of outer container and water with watering can until water runs out of inner container. Once stopped dripping, put back in outer container and return to stand. You next. I can't water you with the tap. I have to use the watering can. It's the rules. You know what? You can hang out with your buddy for half an hour too. Y'all look so cozy in there. Number 5, shamrock plant in the laundry room. Water with watering can. Don't overwater or it will spill into Sheba's litter. Turn it also once per week by lifting it off the ceiling hook and turn it until hanging on opposite side of hanger. So like half a turn and then replace. No wonder they needed a vacation. And then twist. There. Oh. Nailed it. I don't think my little brother and I came with this much responsibility when they left us at our grandparents' house. Good morning, Grace. And good morning to all of you again. Welcome back. For those that might be confused as to why I was watering plants, I'm house sitting for my parents right now. So, taking care of their kitty cat and their very full of responsibility plants. Now, I am hoping to get to some stuff here on the tiny home on wheels. First and foremost, I was out here once already. Turned the deeder. I turned the deeder. All right, well, clearly I don't have enough of this in me yet. All right. I turned the diesel heater up to high. It's been running for a while. So turn it off so it's not so loud out here. Give that a minute to calm down. Yeah, these Revita energy teas from in Calgary. I almost splashed myself. It would have been a tragedy. They've quickly become a staple of mine. I'm going to try today to just drink these, and by these I mean maybe I'll have 2 of them at the most. Every other day I've had one. I've had it later in the day, and either I've had a regular energy drink early in the morning or a cup of coffee, so we'll see exactly how a clean energy drink treats me. And no, I'm not sponsored by them, but I really do enjoy them. And they seem to be just a tad bit healthier for me. And by tad, I mean about, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. So I've been talking about this for a while, and now here we are. I actually just took the rest of yesterday to just sort of settle in, get things set up, because I'm gonna be here. I mean, granted, I'll be bouncing back and forth, but I wanna get a bunch of stuff done in the van while I have the, I guess downtime and the shelter for the van. It almost seems a little too daunting with how much stuff that I want to do. I probably won't get to all of it, let's get serious. But there are little things I would like to do, little changes I would like to make. I'd love to finish up, or at least make some progress on the painting on the outside, although this weather isn't exactly conducive for painting. It's a little damp out here. But as you can see, this place is a little bit of a disaster zone. That just happened because I was shuffling around trying to get in the wheel well box and get stuff and clothes and everything, the other thing into the house so that I have it available, which is funny because I'm just going to be packing a couple bags to throw into the Irish Pirate Queen to go back to Calgary in a couple days. But this is the way life is going to be for a while, so I need to sort of just start. I don't want to let the idea of focusing on Lucky consume me either. I'm in a very beautiful spot in this country that I live in, and I do plan on changing up my daily routine a little bit, and that's actually what I was doing yesterday. After I was settled in, I drove into town, picked up a few things that I needed, went down to the lake, just sort of enjoyed the view there. Later in the afternoon, I walked from here down to another section of the lake and just trying to focusing on my physical therapy, exercises and stuff I need to do, and just be on my own on the days that I have it. I think that's a good thing that I probably need right now. But anyways, yes, this place is a absolute disaster. So I'm going to start by sort of tidying it up because right now it's just looking far too daunting, like I said. I will also have to empty out the refrigerator, and that's going to involve bringing all of my Revita teas into the house. I have a couple Rain energy drinks, so I guess those will be on cheat days? Is that a thing for caffeine drinks? It is now. I know we got a ton of these bags kicking around. There we go. This should do to start schlepping in. Wow, that's a massive bag. Yikes. Got cheese strings. Those should probably come back with me for Brooklyn. If I'm being serious. We got our teas. We got all of the teas. Even more teas. We got our rain. We got this bloody bottle of Mountain Dew Major Melon I've had in this fridge for I don't know how long. I clearly was like, oh yeah, that'll be delicious, and then forgot about it. We got mayo, one more thing of tea, and a Sprite, and some butter. All right. So I just got all that other stuff put in the fridge upstairs, because that's where I've been spending like my evening time. But I'm actually sleeping downstairs in my daughter's room. She's got one of the most comfortable beds in the house. It's actually the bed that I would sleep on when I would go over to my grandparents for a sleepover. They don't make them like they used to, that is for damn sure. There's actually a mini fridge down here. The teas may as well go in here. Maybe not. It's a little stocked full. Oh yeah, look what I left here. My A&W root beers. Well, those can come upstairs as well. That's the nice thing about these teas is they don't take up a lot of space and they smush together nice and close. So let's get these guys in here, and that'll just make it easier to grab one of these bad boys in the morning when I come out here to feed Penny. Speaking of which, well, look who's over here. Hello. Hi. Yes. This is like your home away from home. Oh, away from home. I know. She is nice and cozy down here. Yes, I don't think you and Sheba would get along too well, would you? You get this whole place to yourself. You're even about to have 2 litter boxes because I brought in that other one that I showed off a few videos back. Yeah, I'll have to get that set up. Ooh, we also need to get your new fancy water dish set up. Should we do that now? Should we do that now? Actually, maybe we'll save it for later because I should probably wash it out first. You do you, man. I'm trying to have a bath. Why don't you F off and go back and work on your van? Rude. All right, so there we go. We got all of the Revita teas moved into the mini fridge. A little tasty treat for later. Perfect. And we got all of Penny's paraphernalia. That's not right. This is her food station set up for her. We also have these. Wonder if you can be enticed. No? All right, don't worry. I'll bring them to you. Oh, now you get up. You want this? You want one of those? All right, I need to put the camera down. Hang on. Good girl. Just. Where are you taking it? Where are you taking it? One more? One more? Good girl. All right, now I'll go work on my silly van.
It's gonna be alright. How can you tell? I feel it in my heart. It's gonna be okay. The sun is shining bright to another day. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay.
Now, here's something I haven't done for a while. At least not on purpose. We're gonna turn the refrigerator off. Usually that only happens if Penny steps on the button, which actually, surprisingly, does not happen as often as you might think. All right, I don't know, part of me is like, I know I'm not gonna get to painting soon, but like he's a little dirty and we should probably get rid of the car wash just to clean as much of it off as we can. Fortunately with these mountain roads, they're still wet from it raining all night. She's probably gonna get quite filthy on the way back, but it'd be nice to go into town and just sort of break up the day. I'm not saying I'm gonna do that right away. I'm gonna get the fridge cleaned out because it's a little yuck already. Apparently I'm just messy when it comes to my fridge, and then we'll get this under control as much as we can. And then maybe we also go into the hardware store to see if we can find some self-tappers for the Grace license plate. Okay, so I don't know what all will happen on this whole like adventure I'm going on with Lucky and tinkering around with the outside and the inside and all of that. But I do know for sure I got a little bit of excess power up in this biznitch. Biznatch? Oh! Regardless, my one thing I knew I wanted to do was get the EcoFlow Delta 2 Max back down here under the foot of the bed, because it's been living up there on the wheel well, which has been fine. I can then plug in the TV and my Nintendo up there, plus I have a USB cable to charge my phone at night, and the VTOMAN Flash Speed 1500 has been here. But this guy, I don't use that much. He is probably going to go into Grace's rear end, because two things, with the Delta 2 Max being up there makes it very hard to get into this wheel well box. You lose that storage in terms of ease of access. And on the drive out here, the Delta 2 Max actually fell over twice, slid right off, and then it doesn't go all the way down, but it slides off and hits the bed. That can't be great for the innards of the thing, which I know are just like 4 batteries, but still, it's obnoxious. That's gonna be back under there, and I'll have to figure out some running of cables and wires to get access to the ports that I wanna have access to, blah, blah, blah. And I also think, as nice as this has been, this little hanging unit here for my, ginch and socks and whatnot, and this little travel case for Brooklyn's clothes actually could be a lot fuller than it is right now. Again, it is interfering with access to the wheel well box. And if I'm being completely honest, it's just an excuse to have more than I need in the van at any given time. So that moving down here and that little hanging guy probably coming off are the first things to sort of change on the inside of Lucky. I know, everybody just calm down. Quality content, quality content.
Clenched fist can't fantasy. Just open up your hands, gonna be alright.
Okay, so this weighted blanket, love it. It's very cozy. It's definitely a staple of my van. However, ever since the temperatures dropped, or maybe since Stella passed, maybe a combination of the two, Penny's been sleeping on the bed with me a lot more frequently. Great, super cute, adorable, love it. She sheds like nobody's business, and the blanket, you can't see it because it's gray, perfect color for cat hair, at least dark cat hair, is absolutely covered in her fur. So much so that you touch it once, you just like lay on it once, you pull away, and you're just covered. So I'm kicking myself for not dropping it off at the dry cleaners before we left Calgary. But to be fair, it was always the concern that I would have to sleep on the side of the road. That's a silly concern. I've got more than enough blankets and it wasn't cold. So I was just being lazy, and now I regret not leaving it there. So I think what I'm gonna do is pack it into a big black garbage bag, and we're gonna schlep it back to Calgary with us in Grace and have the dry cleaners take care of it and babysit it for us for a little while. It usually takes about just under a week to get it back. They're busy dry cleaners, but yeah. So we're gonna get that in a bag. We're gonna get the mattress out of here. Then we're probably gonna go do some running around before bringing Lucky back to her sheltered abode. Oh yeah, she'll go. She will go. I think. Get in there. Large be you. He is in blankets. Okay, that's done. Now for the mattress. Yeah, no. This coat is definitely not cat fur resistant. Buy up some stock and lint rollers.
Come on, baby, let's go west to the promised land. Take my hand again, load up the car and drive real far. I could play for cash at the Walmart. Don't think twice this time, you know I'm real fond of Oregon. It would rain outside while I write my songs. It don't rain enough around here, and you know it don't. Sunset Drive is quite alright with me, baby, but we can't stay here forever. The future's been too bright for too long, so take some time and get certified. I'll pump the gas and baby we'll go driving to Interstate 75. So Kaylee, don't be afraid to come with me. There are some things that we need to see, but they're on the other side, where that green grass turns to white. Baby, you and me. When we arrive, we'll take some time to acclimate our state of mind to that new horizon, cross the borderline where folks have to fly to get to us. And we could plant a garden high on that mountain with till railroad ties would set the coffee slow, and we'd wonder why we had
Great.
always.
And we got our self-tapping screws. Fort of Grace license plate. So able to get that done. Probably gonna get to that maybe tomorrow. Stay on point right now. Obviously, I didn't go to the car wash yet because of all the driving we have to do. Also, Lucky's tank is just above half. And with all of the sitting she's about to be doing, I think it's probably a smart decision to fill her tank up. So we'll rip back up the road to New Denver. There's no gas station here in Silverton. Fill her up and then maybe go take a look at the lake, because that drive in, man, the lake is like glass, and that is when it is at its most beautiful, for sure.
Baby, you and me, oh, honey, my baby, you and me.
That's what I get for not paying attention. Over there is the regular pump. Lucky is getting lucky. Oh. Oh well. Throws a little treat every once in a while, won't hurt her. Somebody's gonna have an opinion that it's going to hurt her. Oh, that beats the pants off the city. I mean, is it any wonder why this is my favorite place on earth? Would have been a good day to take the boat out. Mom and Dad's boat. Mine still has no engine. It's also very cold. Never been out on the lake this time of year. Curious. You know, I've been coming out here ever since I was a little boy, and I've mentioned it before on the channel. It was only ever summertime, a couple times in the fall maybe to sort of, you know, shut the property down for the winter and get it ready or whatever. But primarily it was summer, and ever since my parents moved out here, obviously I've had the very fortunate opportunity to be coming out here more frequently and in every time of year. More importantly, I've been able to bring my little girl out here and share this place with her and have the relationship with her grandparents remain nice and strong. Because if you don't know, my relationship with my grandparents was very strong. And that's a very blessed thing to have in your life, because not everybody had or has that opportunity. And I know that. But more so this place, I'm very fortunate to have this opportunity to be out here as often as I will be. Sure, it's going to be a lot of back and forth, and I'm sure it'll get a little stressful at times, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun and really cool that I get to live my life this way at this moment in time. I don't know. I made a joke on one of my Patreon updates the other day when I said out loud how much I'd be driving back and forth, and then I said, why did I agree to do this again? I mean, it's obvious. I'm helping my parents out. I love them very much, and I'm very thankful for all of the love and support that they've given me my entire life, and especially during this, let's call it a different period of my life. And how can you complain when you're in a place like this? Yeah, I mentioned earlier that maybe the more you do something, the less special it will become. But I don't know, man. I mean, that's still true. Don't get me wrong. That's like if I moved here and I was here all of the time without ever leaving, then sure. But I don't think this little stint of time is going to tarnish or take away from the absolute majesty of this place. How could it? Going to get the fridge completely out of Lucky, let it just sort of sit off to the side while we're working on her over this period of time. And really easy. Right down here, simple plug that comes out. This I wired right into my fuse panel, and that is all I need to remove in order to get this fridge out of here. And I see the question a lot, especially when I was talking about that new camping chair that I'd picked up that was super comfortable and was a game changer for me in the living space of Lucky. A lot of people say, well, why don't you just put a swivel seat in for the passenger? But this is why. So if I quickly shove the fridge back in here, look at that. That is the seatbelt buckle right there, right up against the fridge. There's no way that this is going to be able to be on any sort of swivel with the fridge here. Also, and I only say this because it's what I've heard, I haven't experienced it. However, with the Chevy Expresses, even if there wasn't a fridge there, because they are so close to, I guess this would be the B pillar, they actually, see what I mean here? Like I can barely get my hand there. My fingers are squeezed between the seat and the pillar here. The swivel seats need to be offset in towards the driver's seat. So this entire chair would have to go that way by an inch and a half, which again, obviously wouldn't work. So barring any huge redesign, which I don't know, I got a lot on my brain right now, obviously, or that fridge just simply not being here, I'm not going to be messing around with no swivel seat, and I'm fine with that. For now, who knows what the future holds. Let's get the fridge out of the van. Get it out just to push it back in. real smart. All right. There with that. It's a lot, I'm gonna say it's a lot heavier than I remember. But I guess I don't usually pick it up. It's got the compressor and everything in there. So leave that open for a bit, let it air out. It'll probably behoove me to get some baking soda, the little box, and just put it in there as well. The schmutz that was in the bottom that I had to clean out earlier, yeah, that was from that chickpea salad I had. Obviously it tipped over and some of the chickpea juices were flowing. Ugh. Yikes, my shame. But this is a great opportunity to get in here and clean this all up. So maybe let's start with that. There we go. Not perfect, but it's looking a lot better than it was. Using this to light my work area. So, I mean, I think what I'm honestly going to have to do is pull both of these seats out at some point here soon as well. Maybe when I come back from Calgary next week. Because underneath them is just atrocious as well. Plus, I've got that fuse box leg that has the issue where it's, well, broken. Maybe I can pick up some sort of JB Weld plastic Bondo sticky glue crap and get it fixed. We shall see, but I am happy with that. This hasn't looked that good in a very long time. Okay. That stuff up there for now. Still so much stuff that must come out of here. Cord for the fridge, tuck it back there. All right, and now we're gonna need to get the bed collapsed, so we're actually gonna pull the EcoFlow out, and look at that, we got a nice clean spot to put it. Funny how that worked out. Actually, I might want to give this thing a charge. Now that we have some shore power here, plug charge cable in, get this guy nice and topped up because why not? There we go. Bing, comes to life. I guess we can just leave him plugged in. He's on an extension cord anyway. There we go. Oh wow, it was down to 35%. Yes, charge away, charge away. I actually just had to use the app on my phone to see what it was set to charge at. It was set to 1300 watts. I knocked it down to 11. I don't feel like blowing any breakers out here today. Or ever, really. So I was able to do that. That's one thing I really like about the EcoFlow stuff, is that the entire sort of ecosystem of the EcoFlow products exist in one app, which is really cool. Now what do we have under here? Oh, that light. You know what? We're gonna be able to fix that and pull her out. Maybe I should get this bad boy set up. Oh, might be good to have in here by the time to work into the evening. My mom and dad got me this for Christmas. I haven't opened it up yet. I figured it would be really nice for camping, and camping season hasn't really started yet, and I haven't been out in the bush, weather-wise and everything else, so yeah, let's get this open. One less box to worry about. And like I mentioned a while back, this thing will probably be able to live quite easily in the Thule. Another thing I gotta get sort of cleaned out. All right, so how many parts do we have here? 3 parts, the light, the stand, and I guess a light bracket maybe? Oh cool, you can also just use it as like, you can just kind of sit there. Well, that's kind of handy. It's got this little kickstand on the back that you can tighten up. Just adjust it like this, or you can put it on the stand. Super cool. Let's see how bright it is. We got it plugged in. Oh, there's a big old power button on the back. Oh! All I can see is spots. Okay, it's real bright. Let's do it this way. Oh my goodness, look at that. Yeah, lights right up. Don't look right at it. Dumbass! All right, so we got the little handle mounted to the bottom of the light. This, I might have to spin the light now, unfortunately. Actually, I could probably just spin the stand this way. There we go. Oh, cool. Look at all the different positions you can put it in. This thing's awesome. Light me up. Look at that. Woo! What a difference. Maybe this is my new live stream light. I'll just have this thing on my face for the entire live stream. Yikes. Probably gets pretty hot. That's a pretty cool light. Thanks again, Mom and Dad. Sorry it took me this long to get it out of the box, but... Oh, now we're gonna have to figure out what days I can do recycling on. Or I just can schlep that box back to Calgary and throw it in any old blue bin. There we go. Nice. Slider back. Perfect. Light it up. Aha. Carefully crawl over here. I'm so glad I built this bed with the ability to turn into a couch I never use. Okay. When it comes to this bad boy, like I mentioned, I think we're going to remove him. I think it will be really well utilized. Just an elastic band that I used to, well, I was going to say used to stretch with. I do, that's true. I do my stretches with that elastic band. But like I said, I think it will be better utilized actually inside, because there is a third pocket down here that just didn't work, because this is just one of those ones that's supposed to go in a closet, right? And I was able to get it installed, as I do, with screws and whatnot. But yeah, in the interest of getting lucky, a little bit cleaner, a little bit tidier, we are going to remove it so I get easy access back to my wheel well box. So let's get that out of there. There's no other dramatic way to say that. Get her done. I did have some self-tapping screws in there just because the weight of this was causing the Velcro to not stick as well. I think now it's not that big of an issue now that it's been up there for so long, but all that remains is some Velcro strips. This should come. Did I miss one? Ah, I missed one. I did. All right. There we go. Little tiny guy there. There we go. Ah, freedom. Hey, there's my bag of Dixon stickers. Finding all sorts of things. Like any other house when you start moving shit around. All right, now I got that down, and I've actually been poking around with these little IKEA organizers that were sent to me a while ago from a subscriber as well. I got some underwear and socks packed for myself for the upcoming return trip to Calgary. So I have to work on stuff for my daughter and a few other things. Two of those I wasn't even using, which now they're going to come in real handy. Now, originally, when I moved into the van, this 3-banger back here, which I just affectionately call this 3-shelved unit, 3-banger, this is where I was keeping my socks and underwear, and I guess maybe I just got bored, or I don't know, maybe I had too many, I'm not sure. Or actually, I think now that I'm looking at the drawer, it's all coming back to me now. The reason I took everything out was because I had all this other stuff sort of kicking around the van, cables and every other darn thing. I got Band-Aids left over from Debbie in the back here as an emergency stash, a whole bunch of stuff. I just didn't have a place to live in the van. And so I decided to, I think I originally moved my socks and underwear up to one of these cupboards. And yeah, the goal is going to be to get them back into that 3-banger and either completely reduce on the stuff that's in those drawers or get rid of stuff that's, I don't need in other spots of the van. This third drawer I was using for Brooklyn's clothes, but honestly, I have very rarely ever needed to get clothes for her out of Lucky. They're usually in one of our go bags. So, and when I have her, I usually have the go bag out. So it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to have like a quick access area for some clothes for her in a bag is just as easy to get to and not having to grab it every day. Wow, my whole train of thought just went, but I think you know what I was getting at, so I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. All right, gonna ignore that for now and try to stay on point here. I've got this all cleared off, and this is what I want access to, right? Oh, looks like that little hydraulic arm is finally gone. Yeah, because it has been able to hold itself up in the past. So, you know what? I had to replace one of those not too long ago. I think it was on this middle drawer, and I think I might have one left over up there in the junk drawer. Ooh, give me a minute. I sure did. This one is 150 newtons, and that is 120 newtons. So, in theory, this one should perform a little bit better. And it should be a really simple replacement. I don't think there's anything special other than pulling off these little, like, metal bands. So let's get some light on the subject and see what we're dealing with. Some people freak out because they're like, it's upside down, it's upside down. Yeah, whatever. Something about gas is leaking out, but I don't see any gas. So I think if I don't have my Leatherman with me, I know what the heck is happening. Oh no, that's not great. No, I'm gonna need something. You know what? I'm gonna get my OG leather. Wave Plus. That should do the trick. Get it up in there. Come here, you. Ha! There's one. Down here. Come on. That's two. Okay. All right. So to appease the masses, we'll put this one in, I guess, right side up. Although I don't really. Anyway. Let's. Yeah, it'll be easier to do it this way. Snap this guy on here. Use your strength. Be a man. Push it down. Oh, but the iPhone ran out of storage. That's what I was talking about in my review of that doogie. Could benefit from bigger than, I think this phone is 128 gigabytes. And I forgot to delete a bunch of recently deleted videos. Anyway, it's on there. I'm a little concerned it's not gonna, is it even gonna close now? And stay shut? Let's see. Oh yeah. I mean, I may have to actually start utilizing the latch here since I won't have the EcoFlow on it. I mean, it stays shut, which is nice. You little bugger, come here. And hiya! Ha-ha! Nice. Okay. Open it, and she goes open and stays open on her own. What more could you ask for? I got a lot of stuff in here already as it is. Poncho, I got 3 pairs of shorts. Obviously, I was using this as like summer storage. Although that makes me curious as to what's in the wheel well box on the other side that's always underneath the bed. Have to check that out shortly. But yeah, I got this completely empty now. Although from all of the little like projects I've done over the years, there's a whole bunch of like dirt and pieces of wood and schmutz that have fallen down between this and the wheel well itself, and the space is only that big. So I'm gonna need to get a vacuum in there with an extension of some sort, because I don't think my little Ryobi is gonna work. That sounds like a future Matthew problem. We got a strut fixed. We got the box emptied. We're making progress.